Good morning and welcome to my page, Put On Your Positive Pants. My name's Angel and I have been doing these videos for a while, trying to just help people to be able to put on the positive and push away the negative. And I've got many other videos out there that you can listen to and like and subscribe and share to any of your friends that might be having a hard time. So today we're going to be talking about control. I think control is something that we all can relate to. We all feel a need to be in control. We all do. I think it's just a part of us. Some people need to be in control a whole lot. Some people need to always be in control and always need to have the control no matter what's going on in a conversation, at work, at home, wherever. Some people just need a little bit of control. But one of the things that I've found in my journey is that the things that are in my control are the things that I can work with. There are so many things that are not in my control, and there's nothing I can do about those, no matter how hard you try. If someone is doing something that you don't like, you cannot control them. You cannot stop them from doing what you don't like. If they decide that they want to keep doing that, they're going to keep doing that, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can steer your way around that, but there's nothing you can do to control that. You can only control yourself. So here's some of the things that you can control. Things that you can control in your life is how you take care of yourself. That's something that is totally in your control. Getting up in the morning, getting a shower, getting ready for work, getting dressed for the day, putting on a positive, happy color, trying to really work on being positive, that you can do. Taking care of yourself, doing what you need to take care of yourself. I focused a little bit on my last video on resting, and some people need to rest, and that's also taking care of yourself. So that's one of the things that you can control, is your own taking care of your body and yourself, even your mind and your emotions, all that. The other thing that you can control is how you react emotions-wise to whatever's going on in your life. You're the only one that can control how you react, how you handle your emotions, how you handle your feelings. You can do a lot of self-talk. I'll have to do another video on that because I do a lot of self-talk. It helps me a lot. But there's so much more I can share about that. But you can talk to yourself and say, okay, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? Why am I feeling this way? Okay, is that true? Is that a good thought? Is that a right thought? Is that a true thought? And you can kind of talk yourself through it. Excuse me. The other thing you can do is you can control how you treat others. You can control how you talk to others. You can control even how you think about others. Sometimes we get these crazy thoughts in our head and we're like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? And it could be about a person or about a situation or whatever. But for me, I do that self-talk again, and I'm like, where did that come from? And then I decide, is that something from God or is that something not from God? If it's not from God, if it's not kind and thoughtful and positive, if it's not from God, then I just push it away. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to think like that because that's not a godly thought. And if it's not a positive thought, or if it's something really negative about yourself, I'll tell myself, I'm not going to think like that. I'm not going to think about myself that way, and I'll push it off. Because you do have control of what you think, and you do have control of your emotions. You're able to say, okay, I'm being really emotional here. I need to pull back my emotions. I can tell the sun is coming through my window, and anyways, I don't know if that makes it any better, but your emotions, you have a way to be able to control your emotions. You're able to bring yourself down. You're able to look at your emotions and your feelings and try to figure out what's going on there and what are you thinking and what's causing you to feel that way. So you have the ability to be able to control that. You can't control someone else's emotions. If they're hurt or angry, there's nothing you can do about that. All you can do is say, if it was something you did, you can say, I'm really sorry. Or if it's not something you did, you can say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you're feeling that way. But you can't change how they feel, and you can't change their emotion. And you can't even try to say, well, you're wrong to feel that way. Because no, it's their feelings, and they own them, and they have a right to their feelings. The same as you and I have a right to our feelings. The other thing that you can control is your words. You can control your words. You can decide what's going to come out of your mouth. You can decide, okay, I'm really angry, and what I really want to say to that person is this. And you can make the choice and say, but no, that's probably not a good idea, and they will start an argument, and it's not kind, and it's not going to help them, and it's not going to help me. So you can change you can change what you say. You can change what you think, and then that will also change what you say. And sometimes you just need to be silent. Sometimes you have all this stuff running in your head that you want to say to that person. And sometimes it's better to just sit and be silent and not say a word. Let them finish what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying. And sometimes you might even say, you know what? I'm going to pray about this and I'll get back to you. Because in the heat of emotion, when you're not really sure how to react, it's better not to react. It's better to pull back and say, you know what, I got to go. Let me think about this and let me pray about it and let me call you back. And sometimes they don't want that. They want to know your feelings and your everything. But I think sometimes that's the best thing to do is pull back and then clear your head and clear your mind and clear your heart and then go back and talk to them again. The other thing that I feel like you can focus on is your actions, what you do, how you react, what you do out of emotion, out of the heat of emotion, or what you don't do. You feel depressed, you feel tired, you don't want to do anything, you just want to stay in bed, but you know that that's not going to help you. You know that's not going to be a good thing, so you have to do something. You're the only one that can do that. I have friends that are in their homes and they're not able to get out and they're not able to do anything and they're not able to go anywhere. And I want so badly to just go and pick them up and bring them out and make them do stuff. And because that's something that I feel will be helpful to them, but that doesn't mean that's helpful to them. They have to decide what's good for them. They have to decide what actions are good for them to do. But for yourself, you can control what you do. You can decide, I'm going to stay in bed all day, or I'm going to get up and I'm going to make the best of this day and I'm going to do something positive. You make that choice. You have the power to do that. You have the power within yourself to make your day go the way you want your day to go. You have that power. And yes, there could be stumbling blocks along the way, but you still have the power to have positive thinking, to change your heart. You have the power to do that. And I really feel like I use God to help me do that. That's how, when I see I have a negative thinking or a bad attitude, or as I call it, a poopy attitude, then I'll check with God and say, what am I thinking here? What's going on? Am I just being insecure? Am I being oversensitive? What's going on? And again, that goes back to that self-talk. And so those are some of the things that you can control. Now I'm going to give you a list of what you cannot control. You cannot control what other people say. You cannot control what other people do. You can't control things from your past. No matter how hard I've tried to change my past somehow, some way, you can't. You can't change things from your past. All you can do is move forward and move on. Changing how people feel. Like I said before, you can't change how they feel. You say something, it hurts their feelings. You can't say, well, you shouldn't have felt that way because I didn't mean it that way. You can't do that because their feelings are real and that's their feelings. And you can't tell them what to feel and what not to feel. Other people's decisions or choices, you cannot control other people's decisions. You cannot control other people's choices. You can't tell them, well, this is what you need to do, and then be upset if they don't do it. You can't do that. Advice is advice, and I learned that a long time ago. Advice is not a command. Advice, you don't say to somebody, well, I'm going to give you some advice. You should do this, and then be mad at them because they didn't do it. It's just advice. It's your opinion of what you think they should do. If you were in that situation, that's what you would do. But they're not you. So they don't have to take that advice. They can get advice from all over and then pick the advice that they want. The same for us, for me and you. You know, we can get advice from everywhere, but ultimately we choose the advice that we follow. We choose the path that we want to go down. The other thing you can't control is the weather. Obviously, you can't control the weather. No matter what you do, you can't control the weather. Other people's behaviors. If somebody's acting irrationally or somebody misunderstood something you said or something you did and they're acting kind of crazy and you're like, what the heck happened here? You can't control their behaviors. You really can't. The best thing you could do in a situation where somebody's behaviors are out of control is to back off again, give them that space and say, you know what? I think you're in a bad place right now, so let me talk to you later. I'll call you back and I'll talk to you later. Or walk away if you're in the middle of work or whatever and say, you know what? Let me talk to you about this later because it seems like you're kind of upset. So we'll talk later, okay? And then you kind of cool down and give them a chance to cool down. But you can't control their behavior. How other people look at things, their reality of what happens. You cannot change someone's reality. Everybody, if a major situation happens, 10 people are in the situation. Those 10 people will see it totally differently. Each one will have a different view of what happened. And you can't say to them, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened because that's your view. That's your reality of what happened. Everyone has their own reality of what happened, and you can't change someone else's reality. There's just nothing you can do about how they see things. A lot of times that's how relationships get destroyed because someone has one view of how their situation is, maybe a bad marriage, whatever. They have their view of why it went wrong, and the other person has their view of why it went wrong. And so you can't seem to change each other's views. You can't change their reality of what really happened. And so that's another thing that you can't, and you could go crazy trying to help somebody to see the reality, your reality, what you see as reality in a situation. So that's just something that you really cannot control that at all. And you will drive yourself crazy trying to do that, trying to help them see what you saw. And other people's thoughts. You cannot control other people's thoughts. You can't, there's nothing you can do to change their thought. I mean, there are some things you can do. Somebody's angry at you and they say, well, I don't forgive you for what you did. And you later come back to them and say, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And so they feel like, I'm never going to forgive you. But you can come back and say, I'm really sorry. That was wrong of me. I shouldn't have done that. And their thought could change. But their thought's only going to change, not really because of you. Their thought's going to change because their heart changed. Their thought's going to change because they're going to realize, oh, wow, they didn't really mean what they said. I took it the wrong way, and they're going to, really look at that whole picture. So that's the other thing that you can't change is other people's thoughts. So I hope this helped you today. I really, really hope that control is a really big subject, and you could go on all over the place from here, depending on the severity of the control that you feel you have or don't have. But I really hope this helped today. I hope that you can somehow put on your positive pants today. Today I decided to wear bright orange, and I decided to wear my glittery earrings, even though I'm going nowhere. My back is injured, my legs are injured, my knees. I'm going nowhere, but I decided that I was going to put on happy stuff today, and it also makes me happy every time I talk to you guys. So hit like, hit subscribe, and share this with anybody who you feel this might help them today to be able to put on their positive pants. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.